Hi, I'm Joe White, and we are at Behind the Curtain, Ashland Community Theater. I'm here with my co-host, Julie Murphy, who's kind enough to co-host with me today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I was looking back at all the things we did in 2019, and I was wondering who could help me co-host, because Katie's has such a horrible schedule. She can't meet. She can't be part of some of the things we're doing. So we miss you very much, Katie. So hopefully you can get back sometime soon. But I was looking back at the things we did, and I was wondering who was helping us be part of this. And every single thing we did last year, you had your hand in it somehow.
I did. It wasn't planned, but it happened.
That was great. Thank you. So it started out last February. We did a fundraiser
Yes.
at the VFW. And we had a couple of things going on there. We had a bunch of bands coming in, and we're going to be showing a clip of The Great Molasses Flood, which is one of my favorite songs that they do. They do Creep in Spanish, which is a great song. But we also did an opening in which you directed Katie and I
Yes.
in the DMV. So how'd that come about? How'd you?
Well, that was a short that you had done before. And actually, you had shown it to me backstage when we were doing another play, and we had some time to kill, and I thought it was hysterical. And you asked me if I'd be available to direct it. I took a look at it, and the short is just so funny. And the two of you in it were hysterical as a customer and somebody working at the DMV who asks you extremely personal information. And it was very funny. I enjoyed the opportunity to direct the two of you in it.
It was great. Thank you so much for doing that. So why don't we take a look at two things. Why don't we take a clip of the Great Molasses Flood singing their song. And then right after that, we're going to see the scene that Julie directed called Love at the DMV, which Katie and I were in. Take a look at that.
Cuando estuviste aquí, no pude mirarte en los ojos. Tú eres como un ángel y tu piel me hace llorar. Flotas como una pluma en un mundo hermoso. Desearía ser especial y eres tan especial. But I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. ¿Qué chingados estoy haciendo aquí? Because I don't belong here. No me importa si te duele. Quiero todo el control. Quiero un cuerpo perfecto y mi alma también. Yo quiero que sepas cuando no estoy ahí. Tú eres tan especial. Quisiera ser especial, pero soy un creep. Ya soy un güero. ¿Qué diablos estoy haciendo aquí? 'Cause I don't belong here. que sea que quieras, porque eres tan especial. Quisiera ser especial, pero soy un creep. Soy un weirdo. ¿Qué diablos estoy haciendo aquí? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. Muchas gracias.
Es muy fantástico, mi amigo.
Gracias,
Ricardo
gracias.
Barraza.
Muchas gracias, muchas gracias.
485,
485.
can I help you?
Yes, I came from out of state and I moved here and I need my driver's license and registration, please.
All right. Any tickets in the last 4 years?
No.
Any arrests?
No.
Warrants?
No.
Convictions?
Nope.
Single?
What?
Marital status? Single.
How did you know? How did you
You're not wearing a ring. Are you divorced or gay?
What? What?
New data collection. Are you divorced or gay?
Data collection, I don't understand what that is.
Divorced or gay?
Neither. I'm single, never been married, and I'm not gay.
Past relationships?
What? What does that have to do with driver's license?
Only take a moment. Any long-term past intimate relationships?
Well, you like long-term, hot and heavy?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
How many? 1 or 2? More than 1 or 2?
One.
How long? Less than a year? More than a year? Not exactly over yet, because occasionally you still get drunk and make a booty call.
Does it really say that on the form?
Would you please just answer the question?
Yeah, all right, fine. 4 years and then it was over.
Live together?
What? No, I know it doesn't say that on the form.
It says dated, lives together, or other.
Well, I don't know what other could be, so I'm gonna go with live together.
Free milk from the cow.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, listen, can we just get on with this? I just want to get my driver's license and registration, please.
Did you love her?
Yes, I did, but she just did not want to get married.
Loved her, but says it is over. All right, I'm going to need your current license and registration, your VIN certificate and tags, an insurance letter from an in-state provider, the Blue Book value on your car, your driving record, and a letter from your mother.
What? Okay, I have everything right here that you're gonna need. Right
Oh. This registration expired yesterday.
Yes, I know, that's why I'm here to get it renewed.
Have you driven your car since yesterday?
No, I have not.
No. How did you get here then?
She took it.
Who's that? Your new girlfriend? That bitch.
That is my sister!
Can she prove that in a court of law?
Yeah, she can, but wait, what does that have to do with anything here? Can we just get on with this?
Fine. Car or truck?
Car.
2 passenger or 4?
2.
V6 or V8?
It's a V8.
Mustang or Camaro?
It's a Mustang.
Income per year, 40 to 50K, 50 to 75, 75 plus?
Wait, what does the DMV want to know how much I
And
make?
that's net, not gross.
Okay, all right, okay, and the good year is 75 plus.
Boxers or briefs?
What?
Boxers. Or briefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Boxers.
Morning or night person?
Night.
We exchange numbers, or you ask me out right now.
Oh, I'm asking you out right now.
Dinner or drinks?
Dinner.
French or Italian?
Italian.
Cash or credit?
Cash.
Your place or mine?
Both.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Jordan or Bird?
Bird.
Lennon or McCartney?
Lennon.
Beatles or Stones?
Simon and Garfunkel. Parsley.
Sage.
Rosemary.
Time. Ginger or Marianne?
Actually, Mrs. Brady.
Out to the movies or staying home and watch Netflix?
Netflix and chill.
Big wedding or small?
Big.
House or apartment?
House.
1 kid or 2?
1.
Christmas at your parents or mine?
Mine.
Stay up with me and talk or go to sleep?
Stay up all night long.
Just a few more questions and then I'll give you your license and registration.
What? More questions? When am I going to get my license and registration?
Just as soon as you answer these last few questions.
Yeah, but I've given you everything I was supposed to. I've met all the requirements.
You just don't get it, do you?
What? I've done everything I can to make you happy.
This?
Yes.
This means nothing to me.
Oh, what is wrong with you? You know what? I'm gonna go see someone else. Someone else who'll give me a license and registration. I'm gonna give someone else. Maybe she'll give me what I need.
No, don't.
Just stop it. You're crazy.
Oh, well, look here. Seems like you have a suspended license.
Oh, it doesn't say that.
Oh, and there appears to be a warrant out for your arrest.
Now you're making things up.
You are now on the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
Stop!
Oh, the crazy thing.
Just stop it. Stop. Listen, I'm sorry, okay? Can we go back to the beginning when it was beautiful? When I first came in, you'd ask questions and I'd answer them. Remember how wonderful that was? Can we go back? It was so beautiful. It was such a wonderful feeling. Can you find it in your heart to go back there one more time?
It's too late. It's too late for that.
No, it's never too late. Please, think about it. Think about it.
Your documents.
Oh.
And this.
My registration.
It's your walk-in papers.
Oh, no.
This hurts me as much as it hurts you.
No, you don't know that. I don't know if I can go on.
You'll be back next year and after that. The year after that.
No, I have no regrets.
As long as men and women need cars, people like you and me will go on loving each other.
Goodbye. Welcome back. So after that, we had some money and we invested into fixing up some of the VFW's theater. And then we had our April show, which was called the Victorian House Catering Company. And what did you do there? What did you direct and what did you write? What did you act in?
Oh my goodness. So the Victorian House Catering Company was a play that was full of multiple scenes that took place over various decades at this catering company. So I directed the opening scene, Sausage Factory, which was written by Morgan
Walbridge.
Walbridge. She's great.
Yep.
And I directed that. That sort of set the pace for the show and took place in the late
1899, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was about a family of cannibals running a sausage factory. So, something you see every day.
Every day.
Every day. And then I had the opportunity to write and direct a scene that took place in the 50s. It was a sock hop. It was a conversation between two people and where they saw their lives going. One may have been influenced by running into somebody from the future. And then I wrote this really fun scene and directed it. The Mob Family. It was a present day show, but I think we put it at 2025 maybe.
Yes, I have to check my records, but yeah.
And the concept was 3 mafia heads come together. They're older and sort of at the end of their run, and they're having a meeting of the mob families that is called by an unknown person who turns out to be a young millennial who wants to take over and streamline their businesses. So something I think that in fact could happen in any company.
Yeah?
So, and acting, I was in the funeral scene.
Yep, the afterlife party that Mauro
Yeah.
Ciccarelli wrote.
Yes,
And
yes,
directed.
and directed,
Yeah.
and directed, yes.
And you played what, Mary
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Mary Sunshine,
Taking over
yes.
the funeral company?
Yes, I was promoted because my father was retiring and I was just going to make this just the most fun place you'd want to be.
So that was great. It was a great experience. I think we had 28 different actors on stage, 5 or 6 different directors, a lot of different writers. One of the things that we'd like to do at ACT, which there was a lot of people involved doing a lot of different things. And I think our stage manager, Katrina, basically said we can never do 28 actors again. So the next show we're going to do, we'll talk about, it only has 27. So,
Yeah,
but
I
at
think
least
that's
it's not
fair.
28.
Yeah,
We
I
never
think
said
that's
right.
fair.
So quick question before we see some clips of the Victorian House. What do you like to do better, write, act, or direct? I know
I
you
love
like
them all.
Yes,
I
but-
love
yeah.
to direct. If I have to choose between the three, I want to direct.
Why is that?
I just see things a certain way, and I'm very passionate about creating something that I think everyone would want to see. And I love sort of getting in there and perfecting it and bringing a picture to life. I love it.
It's good to know. I like that. Well, let's watch some clips from the
Sure.
Victorian House from our April show.
Time? Half 12, Ruth. We've plenty. The wedding party's arriving in 15 minutes. Yes, but everything's finished. I'm simply prepping for tomorrow.
All right, Giada, that's perfect.
Not exactly. This is the last of the meat.
Nothing in the back.
Used it up for last week's horse funeral. Any ideas? Sisters?
William!
No, I've told you before. He's me husband and the father of me child. I love him.
Oh, sure.
You don't kill, you only dismember, cook, and serve. Well, what about Albert then, Nellie? Albert? He's too boring to taste good. We had an hour's tea last week and he didn't speak a single word. I'm telling you, we need to go into pies. They use off the meat of sausages.
I just took a hit outside, and I'm flying higher than Apollo 11.
Apollo 11. Hey, here's to Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Whoa, Buzz. I love that name.
Here's to the moon landing. To the man on the moon.
Yeah, I'll bong to that. Yeah.
Can you do bongs on the moon?
No, man, I think you need air for that.
Oh, hey, this is a new age. We can escape pollution and colonize the moon. We'll call it Moon Day.
Dude, don't you think we should clean up the Earth first?
Oh, man, I totally agree, man. We shouldn't be taking our pollution up to the moon. No. We should be celebrating cleaning the earth. Yeah.
Earth Day?
Nah, no, Earth Day. No one would buy that. It's not catchy enough.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, it's 11:58.
Quick, get the waiter's attention. We have to get that champagne before midnight.
You can have my drink too. I'm having enough fun just watching you freak out over this alleged computer crash.
I'm not freaking out. I'm completely prepared for the end of the computer age.
Well, I hope you got all your money out of the bank. I knew those ATMs would be a problem someday.
Well, no, I didn't. But it doesn't matter. The tellers will be able to give me my money. Right?
Yeah, and how are they going to do that when the computers think it's 1900? How much money did you have in the bank in 1900?
You know, now that you mention it, a lot of my business dealings lately seem to have been plagued by bad luck. Is that why you called this meeting?
Oh, no, boys, you're mistaken. I did not call this meeting. I assume that one of you suggested it.
No, of course not me.
Dude, I hear what you're saying, but it's not gonna work. Who is this? You know I don't take meetings between 2 and 4. That's my yoga and meditation time. If the mayor wants to discuss an increase in my donation for his campaign, he can meet me when I get to the office anytime after 10. But not Wednesdays. Good. Thanks. Oh, sorry about that. Dude's been hounding me for days to get together.
By dude, you mean the mayor?
Yeah, I keep texting him to sign to my Google Calendar, but the guy can't seem to get it. Old guys, am I right?
We're back. So that was great. That was fun stuff.
Yeah.
I love watching that stuff. That's great. I could watch it all day long. As a matter of fact, they do.
You do
I
watch
could
it all day long.
All different shows.
I know, because you text me.
Well, actually, I was watching last night. I was up late and I was doing nothing, and I watched The Interns, which we did over 5 years ago, and I can't believe how young all these people look. Even me, I looked a little younger too. But so, of course, the Victorian House was a great play. It was a great experience. of course, we could not get enough of that show. And we ended up doing a 1-hour film on it. And you were part of that as well, go
I was.
figure. What'd you like about that component compared to being on stage, and how did it differ for you? Because you directed, I don't think you acted in this one.
I did not act.
You didn't act, but you directed it, and how you like that differently than directing play versus movie?
They're different. I like them both. I liked both experiences. It was my first time directing for film, so the first thing we had to do is we had to adapt the script for the film. It had to be shorter. Directing-wise, I think what's interesting difference is that when you're directing for stage, everybody needs to be bigger than life. Hand gestures need to be big. Expressions need to be big because the audience is far away from the stage, as far back as the last row, and you need to make sure that everybody is seen. I had to take those same actors and direct them for film and say, I need all those movements to go out, and now it's micro expressions. It's the raising of the eyebrows. It's the, a little grin. It's a little twitch of the nose. It's much smaller. And then, of course, in film, it's so much easier to say, yeah, that didn't work. Let's stop and do it again. Once somebody's on the stage and the audience is in front of them, you have no control left when it comes to directing. It just goes.
No going back at all.
Yeah, that's it. You have to sit in the sidelines and not say a word.
Yeah, we've done a couple of films, done a couple of mini-series, and a lot of the feedback that I've been getting is that, and whatever future project we do in film is going to be, I'm going to not try to adapt a play into a movie. That's been historically what we've done, and there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of work, and we try to make it more visual. I think we did a project over this past year. We did something called A Halloween Story, which was a very short little piece. A lot of it, not a lot of dialogue in there. There's a lot of facial expressions, a lot of special effects and stuff. And
It was great.
It was great. Allison Rose did a great job of the editing and putting that all together. It was fantastic. So, long story short, I think some of the projects people keep asking, so you're going to do the next play into a film, next play into a film. I think we're going to try to look at a film and try to do a film and make the film, so make it less dialogue-y.
That'd be fun.
But it was a great experience. It was great working with those people again, and one of those things you enjoy the process so much, we didn't want to let it go, and we kept it going. So here are some clips of the Victorian House, the movie. I've got an idea that I want to pitch to you.
Yeah, you said something about a historical documentary?
140 years it hosted some of the world's best and even the strangest parties. But it's not the history that you want. You want breaking news, live as things are happening.
Yeah, how we report things in this century.
Lorraine, can we just show our audiences how things used to be in better days? When people came to places like this to celebrate.
Fine. Go ahead, tell me about this place.
Well, let me tell you the story from the beginning then. Victorian House was first established in 1899. Welcome back. So, once again, we had our 50th episode this past year, in 2019. And as we go into our 6th year, we were saying, well, what do we want to do for our 50th? Let's go back to the origin story. So I tried to bring as many people back that was part of ACT from its inception. Jody Martin, Maddie Schott, Katie Shander Reynolds, Mauro Ciccarelli, Heidi Hansen. Some others couldn't make it, Rich Greaves, and a few others couldn't make it that night. But you were kind enough to step in and co-host and interview us about the origins of ACT. What did you find out about that you didn't know going in after you interviewed us?
Well, first of all, it was cool to interview everybody because I knew them all. I had either directed them or seen them on stage. I think I had known going in about the first plays, the first shows you had done. Even though I hadn't seen them, I knew about them. What I didn't know and that I learned when interviewing everybody was that you started out as a series of acting classes. That you had just sort of came up with this concept that you needed a theater group, let's get an acting class, let's have a show at the end. And that's where all of them came out of. And I hadn't known that going in. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, my wife got me, when I turned 50, she got me, I always said, I want to do some acting, and she said, she got me some acting classes, and I started to take them, and then we started to do some here, and then some of the core group, and I just started to grab people and say, let's do this. And then as we started to grow, let's say, let's put on a show. And it was great. So thank you again for coming down and interviewing those people. Here are some funny clips from some funny stories from the 50th episode of BTC that Julie co-hosted with me.
All right, well, hello, and welcome to the 50th episode of Behind the Curtain. Usually you would see Joe White sitting here
And Katie.
interviewing everybody tonight, but tonight I'm here on a very special episode to interview everybody who was here at the beginning of ACT. So tonight we have Joe White, Mauro Ciccarelli, Jody Martin, Heidi Hansen, who's cracking up in the back there, Maddie Schott, and Katie Shander Reynolds.
Who has been my co-host since like episode 3, after we kicked the first one off. So 2 episodes.
So tonight is the 50th episode. Joe, when did you start Behind the Curtain?
It was a year after we started ACT, so 2015.
And can you talk a little bit about the founding of ACT?
No.
Okay.
Okay, no.
Moving on to Mauro.
I'll be happy to talk about that finding.
You mean what
What went into it? What did it mean? What happened?
It was all these people's fault because we were talking and drinking one night over at some bar, and Mauro goes, I said, I want to do like theater and write, and he goes, why don't you do it? Do it. We took an acting class, and my wife supported it and said, go for it. And I convinced all of these fine people to be part of it. And they all said, yes, Joe, just shut up talking, and we'll do whatever it is that you want.
That's
What year
exactly
was
how I
this?
remember it.
It was before, it was like this fall of 2013.
Does your wife still support it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
X amount of years later.
Still on the finger, that's good.
So were you all together this evening when you were talking about forming this group?
The answer's no.
No.
I don't think, it was one of those that it kind of expanded into different conversations by like, I get a lot of one-on-one conversations because it makes me drink more because if I go out with him, I can have a couple of drinks. I go out with you, have a couple of drinks. So it was really rolled into that.
But that was on one night.
And then emails came flying in for people coming in saying they wanted to start this whole thing and join it. We started acting classes, and Maddie joined. She couldn't make the first show, but was part of the kind of the rehearsal process.
What was the first show?
Relationships A to Z.
And were most of you, other than Maddie, involved in that?
Yes.
And we have 2 people that couldn't make it here tonight, Rich Greaves and Kelly Holt. Were they involved in the first show?
Yes.
How were they involved?
Kelly was the director, and Rich is our amazing sound, lights, stage,
god.
tech god.
He was the everything man.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife of tech people.
He's our Swiss Army knife. Yes, that's a good way to put it. I love that, Mauro.
The human Swiss Army knife. I like that. We're going to call him that from now
Swiss
on.
Army knife.
He's a sharp guy.
You all got together, you decided you were going to form a theater group, and you put on this first show. Where did you put it on?
No.
No,
Joe
that's not-
got together and
This
said,
is not
I'm
correct.
going to put together a theater group, and then he wrangled all of us into it.
You see, everyone's got
had this
different
big
versions of the
lasso.
same story. It's like, this is, all right, I'll shut up. I'll let you go.
I want to hear their version.
It started on a
That's
dark,
what, it's
stormy
funny.
evening.
That's the way I heard
Joe
it.
envisions this creature that came alive.
That's the way you really think it happened? Seriously?
And he screamed,
And
"Let
you've
there
got
be life!"
witnesses for this, right?
Act
And you've got witnesses.
There's a light. Okay, so Joe wrangles you all in,
Right,
gets you in a room, locks the door.
Pretty much.
What happened next?
Well, after that, it was pretty much what he said. Like, we will,
You see, if we can just cut that first part out.
you will stop talking, we will do this thing. Just stop it. So we did.
Was the first thing acting classes, or was the first thing the show?
Action.
Acting classes.
Well, not for everybody.
Not really.
Yeah, so he did. There was an acting workshop that
Yes.
Kelly ran
Yes.
at the library. And
No, it was at
Anne-Marie's.
Anne-Marie's.
Marie. And then we did something
What
at
was
the
the one at the
library.
library? That was later?
Yeah.
Well, it was a long time ago.
It's all blurry
I'm a little
and
older now.
things like that.
So, but yeah, so there was a
Anne-Marie's.
couple of acting
Workshops.
workshop things, but not everybody in the show was involved in that.
I think
I wasn't.
You weren't?
Not in the
See?
acting
So there.
classes.
You weren't?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Art already had
Were you
acting
involved in
classes.
See, my version's sounding much nicer now, you see, because they can't remember what they did
acting
yesterday.
classes, and I was in Katie and
And
Heidi was.
16 scene changes later.
And 16, yeah. The script rewrites.
There was a
Just a
steep learning
small
curve.
production to start.
Yeah,
And
Nothing too
so
ambitious.
when you all got together and wrangled in and talked about doing this, was there a concept, we'll do X amount of shows a year? What was the plan?
Well, we had this great plan formulated, and Joe said, "That's great. We're doing this."
My plan was, I'm gonna do one show, and then I'm gonna get the hell out.
And
How
9,
many shows have you done now?
Definitely more than one. A couple films, some miniseries, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
is the hook. See?
yeah, exactly.
So Joe, we didn't get to you though. What was your favorite part you ever played?
Ooh. My favorite one that I played was probably the actor in Plaza Suite with the father, because I felt that was the one with the most lines and trying to figure out how to do. We had a new director for the first time, so we're trying to do something different. So that one was fun. I enjoyed DMV. I enjoyed a lot of the things we did for Gate 19, playing the dad, trying to get lost. Philadelphia. So there's so many of them, it's tough to say. It's as Tom Brady will say, my next one.
Yeah. That's so hard to say what's your favorite, especially since unlike other theaters, we do the ensemble sort of skit style plays, and there's just so many. The first one, like I said, Karen was my favorite just because of the challenge of that. But I mean, I loved playing Cindy and Julie in Cindy and Julie. I loved the monologue that I did, and that was so much fun.
Conjugal
Yelling about the
Conjugal
conjugal connections and yelling at the gnomes. Jerry, the gnomes are on my side. Yes, I love that. Yelling at Jerry, this imaginary Jerry with the gnomes, and that was like there's so many like little things, like those little ones, those little like 2 to 5 minute ones that are just so much. I loved the seance. That was hilarious. And yeah, I mean, like those ones that we've done, yeah.
Yeah, and dinner conversations
So
was
many.
fun. So many different ones in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough to pick. So the next one will be my favorite.
Yes.
And I know what the next one is.
Yes. Question, I'm going to say, who hasn't I been married to on that stage, on stage?
On or off stage?
Well, no, the Philadelphia, I think
Quick
they
on that.
the Philadelphia, I think we were married.
I think so.
Think so.
Did you pick up the check?
I did not. I left.
Then we're definitely married.
So, in addition to the fact that this is the 50th episode, another reason that we got everybody here tonight is people's lives are changing. People are doing other things and stepping outside of theater, or stepping outside of ACT, or stepping outside of the States. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in each of your lives, or what's next, or what direction you're being pulled in. And let's start with Heidi.
I'm a soccer mom.
There's no getting away from
No
those
getting
little
away from
guys.
now.
I know, right?
That's a full-time job.
You get to know the town and
Katie knows
the,
how to make
directions
That's actually
really
how
well.
Joe and I met. It was when we were soccer parents.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
4
You were both
nights or
soccer
4
moms?
days a week, I'm at the soccer field.
Oh yeah.
No, but also I have a different job that takes me away in the evenings and stuff, and so.
But Katie knows how to make a good schedule if you ever need to like figure out how to schedule the whole cherub thingy and the
Yeah.
U7s.
At least now that Joe's not president of the soccer league, you won't get roped into doing all of that work.
There we go.
So, and Katie, you have a couple jobs right now, right?
I
A couple of
do.
exciting
Yeah,
things.
Yeah, so I'm an elementary school teacher and have been for
Ever?
way more years than I'm going to admit to.
And you're a flying Willenda now?
And now I'm officially a flying Willenda. I also teach aerial yoga. So I'm working
Is that in a plane?
6 days a week.
Is that yoga that's on a plane?
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a challenge because she's afraid of heights.
I know.
But she does a great job.
Luckily, I'm really short.
You're never too far from the ground.
So yeah, so the full, working 6 full days a week, it's really hard to find time for anything else because my daytime job requires a lot of work outside of work, and then I have to plan lessons now for the yoga too. So I really have no free time.
And Maddie, what about you? What are you up to?
I'm recruiting for a medical device company, and I've been with them for 1.5 years, a cool little company in Natick that we will be probably approved by the FDA in the summer of next year and sell to the US. So that's exciting. It's a really cool company. So I do that. I do a lot of exercise and Zumba and have a lot of fun with my friends because I'm only working part-time. And my husband and I have a nonprofit that supports a little village in a regional area in East Africa in the country of Tanzania. So I'm very involved in that. Do a lot of fundraisers. October 17th, there's a beer garden fundraiser I'll tell you all about.
It's a Thursday night.
It's a Thursday night exhibit A. I know.
Thursday nights work for me.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah, so I'm keeping busy with all kinds of things, having a lot of fun.
Very cool, Jody.
Oh. Here we go. Where's the things I know, right?
How much time do we have left?
Where's the tissues?
Yeah, no, so I'm actually moving on a new chapter of my life. I'm moving out of state. I'm moving to the great state of Georgia, to the Atlanta area. And there's been a lot of questions as to why or what for. And to be honest, it's not for any particular reason. Like Joe said earlier, when he was talking about why he started ACT, to be honest, there's a lot of things in my life that I haven't done because I've been afraid of for one reason or another, and I don't want to be 85 and regret. And I've been thinking about this for many years now. This isn't like something that's like, oh, let's just do it, I've been thinking about it. I have a friend down there, a really close friend, who's been, asking me for many years, oh, please move down here. And, and I've been thinking about it, and it's just something that I think, I've been here in Massachusetts longer than I've been anywhere else. I've been here for almost 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moved here at birth.
Pretty much, yes, exactly. I was 2 days old. I moved here by myself.
Very progressive.
Spirit. Exactly. I told my mom, don't worry about me. I'm good.
You can start a theater group down
Right,
there.
exactly.
Find one
So
or
I,
start
yeah, and I
one.
just, like I said, I don't want to be like, I recently had,
Atlanta Community Theater.
I know, right?
Yeah, baby.
Act up, Georgia. Ooh, ooh.
There you go. But yeah, no, that's the main reason. It's something I've been thinking about, and I just thought, and I've always been kind of a wanderer anyway, and I recently had a really, really good friend of mine who passed away at a very young age, and see, this is what's going to kill me. But it's because, and just kind of sort of solidified the fact that you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you really need to do what you want to do in the moment, rather than waiting until the right time or the right reason, or being afraid to do something. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well.
And that's what ACT was all about, was starting something in the moment. So,
Right.
Mauro, before we have to wrap up, what are you up to?
Not a lot. I just got released on parole, so that's why I've been out of it for a while. I did have my ankle bracelet, but it's off, so I feel pretty comfortable now.
Prison theater?
I did. I don't know if you saw
Breakout.
Breakout. And then I was starring in that, and then I did Life of Hard Knocks.
Shawshank
And
Redemption.
I did, and I did The Green Mile.
Well, thanks again for coming down and hosting that night. After that, we were in the process, actually, we were in the process of writing. So we started over the summer. We said, let's write the next show. And we came up with some ideas, and I said, let's do something about people getting together on nights out. Poker night,
Book club.
group, wine night, game night, house party, etc. And then we started out with let's get a group of writers together to do that. And then we bumped everybody else off. And then we just took over and just said, we're writing this. So I think it sort of happened that way.
I don't think we bumped anybody off. I think people fell off, and some people said they were more here to watch the process.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think also when it comes to sitting down and writing a play, which I think we should mention, this was a full-length play, not a series of mini plays within a play, which is what we had done and you had done up to that point. So I think once writing starts and you realize, oh, I need to actually sit down and write a play, people fell off from just the sheer
Yeah.
daunting task of it.
Yeah, and then I think the two of us got very passionate about it, and you just went home and started writing and emailing back and forth, and how about this, how about this, how about this, and
Yeah.
we had assignments for each individual sections, and, I passed it on to you, you passed it back to me, and, there were sections that you added voices of people that I wanted you to add to my scenes, and I did the same for yours, and it really was a very good collaboration, I felt. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I
That
loved
went
it.
back and forth, and we came up with Nights Out. And oddly enough, we ended up playing the roles of the people we wrote.
I think it's really important that we state when we wrote the play, we had no intention of playing those characters.
Did not. I was like very happy because I asked you the question earlier, what would you like better? I like writing. I also like directing, and I like them all, but I think the writing part I like to me because I love creating, but I also like the directing part too. But if I would have to only do one, I'd say the writing part for me. But it's tough that when you give up that writing to someone else that doesn't have the same vision. We were very fortunate to have Alessandra
Oh, amazing.
Horton, who was part of the process along the way and understood the characters as well as we did.
She really
And
did.
probably sometimes better than we did because she saw it differently and interpreted, which is what a director does. So it was not as difficult letting go for me, knowing that it was in capable hands of her taking it and bringing it to the next level. Did you feel the same way? And what did you think about letting go as a writer?
So I didn't have any trouble letting go, and
I
probably
did.
because it was Alessandra.
Okay.
And at times people would ask questions and she'd stand up and say, well, I defer to the writers.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting part of it for me was, as I said, we didn't intend to play those parts. And we wrote some very raw material and drew on our own lives. At least I can speak for myself and say I drew on my own life. And I don't know that I necessarily would have put them in the script if I knew I was going to be up there saying them.
Interesting.
That was the more
Interesting.
difficult part, was especially the end of Act One. There was
Yep.
there was a lot of tough material there that
Yeah.
I put out there with the full intention that someone else would be saying it. So
Or receiving it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
delivering it. It was tough. It was tough. So it was more difficult for me, I think, trying to understand the character, like the interaction, like what makes the character tick. So it's tougher for me. This was a tough role because I was having a challenge, and you're very helpful as an acting partner to help me through all that. So was Alessandra. Both of you helped me through. And I think it came out pretty well.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
was
too.
Pretty proud of the work.
It was a journey. I mean, those parts, and I think you do a lot of comedy. And so it's one thing to do comedy. I think it's another to do drama with a little bit of comic
Yep.
relief.
Yeah, and I think that's what this was. It was really a story about a couple's journey through their nights out and how they started and how they got there. And I also felt that the last scene, the interactions of all the other characters coming in, it was really fun to see many different actors that we were able to bring back and work with us again, be on stage and play different roles.
And everyone was a character. Everyone had a story. No one was a throwaway.
Yeah. And if you were to play any character not Gail, who would you have played?
Oh, I would have played Kathy.
So would I. Everyone wanted to be
Everyone
Kathy.
wanted to play Kathy.
Everyone wanted Kathy. So let's watch a few clips of Nights Out in which you can get to see a little bit about Kathy and maybe a little bit about Doug and Gail, et cetera. So Nights Out was done last
November.
November. Wow,
Yeah.
so it seems like it was so long ago.
Yeah,
but
it was only a
wasn't.
few weeks,
It was
yeah.
only a few weeks, yeah. So Nights Out. Take a look at some of the clips.
Listen, let's be serious and teach this kid a little bit about poker before Brian gets here. Let's keep it simple. It's no odd or girly games, okay? We'll just play 5-card stud.
Stud.
We'll draw.
But no Watertown? No Anaconda? No bailout?
No.
Pass the trash or miss it? What about 52?
No, definitely no.
Okay, but we're definitely playing high-low.
Definitely no high-low.
Is High-Low that Disney song? No, Kenny. That's Hi-Ho. You know, Hi-Ho, Hi-Ho, it's off to work we go.
Oh.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do we do if Brian calls the game?
Oh, crap, I didn't think of that. All right, so if he calls the game, we fold on the first draw, and we let him win.
All right, Kenny, here are the basics, all right? 4 of a kind, really, really good, okay? 3 of a kind is good.
Okay, now 2 of a kind. That's pair. That's not so good. But look, this is simple. Everything is on this coaster, so just study the coaster and you'll be fine.
Wow, that's a nice coaster.
Oh, jeez. Steve, all right, he's here, all right? Remember, keep it simple, nothing complex, and we let Brian in. Hey, Brian.
Hello, gentlemen. I am here and ready to beat you guys again. Hey, what is it now? 10 consecutive months and I've been winning it big. Oh, look, there's a new guy in the room. Another pigeon.
Hi, my name is Kenny.
Excellent, nice meeting you. Hey, so Doug, thanks for hosting again. Hey, I would have you over at my house, but Joy's hosting a party for the Senator's re-election campaign. And the house is full of politicians. You know what it's like when you have a house full of politicians.
Oh yes, it takes weeks to get the smell out.
Hey, can somebody get me a drink?
Oh, of course, Brian. Sorry. What's your poison tonight? Whiskey? Rum? How about a beer?
I think I'm having the Baltabastra!
Brian, could you help me out, please? What is a Baltamastra?
Baltabastra? Are you saying you never heard of it?
Sorry.
Oh my, what cave do you live in? Okay, you take a glass. You put 2 to 3 ounces of Bastra liqueur, 2 ounces of Campari, dash of soda water, dash of lemon juice, shake it well, pour it over a tumbler filled with ice. Add Kenny to taste.
What is it with this guy?
Don't worry. Hey, Brian, guess what? We literally are all out of Kenny. But I'll make you your second favorite drink, Jameson, straight up.
I guess that'll have to do.
Come on in. Hey, we're just waiting on Alicia.
No worries, babe. What are we drinking?
Well, we have 2 reds and we have 2 whites, but we have to wait till everyone gets here so I can teach you how to drink them.
Honey, I've been drinking since I was 16. You do not need to teach me how.
I have to teach you about the dregs.
Oh, well, I just had a date with one of the worst dregs I ever met.
Oh, honey, this date didn't work out.
Nope. You know, he seemed really nice at first. Yeah, he picked me up in his BMW. He's a software engineer. Took me to dinner, not at Wesson's, but at a really upscale place. We chatted over salads about our favorite movies when his phone rang. It was his mother asking if he'd be coming to dinner. He was really sweet to her and told her he had plans, but he'd have dinner with her tomorrow. I thought that was really nice, because you know what they say, you know how a guy will treat you by the way he treats his mother, right?
Sounds like a long story. Let's get the wine open.
Oh, rats, I forgot the corkscrew.
Oh, crap, I lent mine to Debbie.
Here, I have one in my bag.
Where is Mary Sunshine tonight anyway?
Ooh, so tonight is mindfulness night. Apparently, once per week, they sit in the living room, legs crossed, staring into each other's eyes. It's supposed to create a deeper connection.
I could think of a better way to create a deeper connection.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah. So, we're about halfway through dinner when she calls again, okay? I couldn't really hear what she was saying, but this guy says something like, Mom, I'm on a date. We can talk about this tomorrow. There's a pause, and he goes, Mom, I'm allowed to have other women in my life. Another pause, and he says, goodbye, Mother, and hangs up. Goes right back to our conversation like nothing happened.
So he's a mama's boy. You've dated worse. What the hell is in this?
Oh, that is the Merlot. Oh, wait. You're not supposed to be drinking that yet. You're supposed to let it aerate so that it gets a better body than the ones you buy in the store.
Fine, then give me a glass of whatever the hell I'm supposed to be drinking.
Honey, what happened next?
Well, we finished dinner, and while the waiter's clearing the plates, she calls again. Thank you. I excuse myself to use the restroom. When I get back from using the restroom, he's off the phone, but he looks angry. Asked him if everything was okay, and he assured me she wouldn't call again. So we ordered dessert, talked about our jobs, and he really did seem interesting, you know?
Okay, don't drag it out. When did he crash and burn?
Well, the phone rang again. And, of course, he answered it. This time, it was his dad. Yeah, I couldn't really hear what he was saying, but it sounded like he was telling him that he was a terrible son for choosing some date over his mother, and that he was breaking his mom's heart. At that point, my date yells into the phone, "Dad, all my recent dates have disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and I'm pretty sure Mom had something to do with it." Yes. At that point, I grab my bag, run out the door, and flag down a cab. I would have Ubered, but I was not waiting around.
So no second date?
Honey, I'm sorry, and I'm glad you got out of there. His family sounds crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna need something more than this cheese to absorb all the wine.
That's a good idea. Why don't we order some pizzas?
I can go for pizza, usual.
Yeah, one pineapple, one veggie, but hold the peppers.
Okay. Oh, you know what? There's a new place on Main that delivers. I'll Google it and place an online order. Oh, no, don't. I have their menu in my purse.
That worked out well.
She's still going to Columbia.
Yeah, and evidently so is our money. How can you do that to me, to us, spurting out that you're going to pay for grad school without talking to me about it?
What are you talking about? We just discussed it.
And I said no.
No, you said whatever.
And that means no?
No, it doesn't. It means do whatever you want because I don't care.
No.
And I want us to pay for her grad school.
No, this time it meant I wasn't agreeing with your silly argument and I didn't agree with you.
Well, how am I supposed to know that? I can't read minds. What always meant one thing now means another. You know, Doug, you are so obsessed with landing this contract with Brian that you don't even care about me or Anna or this situation we're in.
What situation? She is going to grad school.
You really don't see this as a situation. You really just see it as her going to grad school?
Yes, you need to let the bird fly out of its nest.
What is it with you with birds and nests? Baby, I don't want my baby bird flying around with mosquitoes and hawks and things that want to hurt or kill her.
There you go again. You're always imagining the worst thing, expecting bad things are going to happen. You're just a pessimist.
You know, I am really sick of you talking to me like I am a lunatic. This is not about pessimism. This is about realism. You know what? You're right. I am pessimistic. I'm pessimistic that you're going to land this contract. I'm pessimistic that you care about me. I'm pessimistic that you give a crap about my feelings. I am realistic that our little girl with no sense of direction and no survival skills and no common sense is going to get herself lost, assaulted, or killed in another effing country, and I won't be there to save her.
So that was a fun show to do. Nights Out was just, I enjoyed it tremendously.
Yeah.
I miss all the cast already. You know, I was tempted to look into potentially doing something film-wise, but I just mentioned a while ago that I'm trying to do some film without doing an adaptation of a play. So that's what we did in 19. So what do we have ahead in 2020? So what are you doing now? I mean, I hear you're directing something for the Milford Players?
Yeah, the Milford Performing Arts. I'm doing a show that was originally called Jekyll and Hyde. Now it's Sleep in Chains, Jekyll's Nightmare. It is a completely different show than what we do here. It's dark, it's gritty, it's intense. I have some Ashland actors.
Great.
Yeah, which is great. 2 or 3 of them are from Ashland. And we go up in March, and I tried to memorize the dates, but I can't. It
13th,
is,
14th, 15th, 19th, 20th, and 21st.
you,
That's what I
yes.
think of
Yes.
March. And it's how could they get tickets? Is it the Milford?
So I believe they can go online to the Milford Performing Arts. I'm sure there'll be tickets at the door. It's a small black box theater, so
Yeah,
it seats about
very
40,
intimate.
45 people. Yeah, very intimate. You'll be right there on the action. So,
Yeah, so I advise getting tickets in advance,
Yes.
not waiting to get to the door, because sometimes it gets sold out.
Yes.
And you'll be sitting outside missing a great show that she's directing. So, and what's the name of it again?
it is Sleep in Chains.
Sleep in Chains.
Jekyll's Nightmare, originally called Jekyll and Hyde. So it is the dark story of Jekyll and Hyde.
Wow, dark stories.
Very
That's
dark.
nice. So what ACT's doing is in early May. We're still locking down the dates. I thought we had the dates originally nailed down, but just coming into here to start filming. People say, but it is going to be early May. It's either going to be the 30th of April, 1st and 2nd of May, or 7th, 8th, and 9th of May. So we're still working that out. But it's called The Viewing Room. It's something I'm directing, and a writer friend of mine, Mark Smith, wrote this. And he's been submitting some stuff to us for a while. It's a great concept. It's a concept about, I don't want to give too much away, but it's about family at a wake. Let's leave it that way. Okay, and that'll be going up in early May at the Marconi's Theater in Ashland. And then I've got some projects that I'm thinking about for some films that I'm going to talk about in our next couple of episodes. But we are doing something in October that, guess what, you're involved again.
I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, since you're going to direct it, that's going to be heavily involved.
Yes.
What are you directing in October?
Dracula. Dun,
That's
dun, dun.
awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
And those dates are definitely October 23rd, 24th, 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Yes.
So on Halloween night,
Yes.
you can come dressed up in costume, whatever you want, to see this Dracula show.
Yes.
And when do you envision to start auditions?
So I'm thinking we'll do auditions in June because I want to make sure that we get a great cast. So, and I want people to have time over the summer to work on their lines. It's a 3-act play, lots of lines, and then rehearsals probably starting the middle of August.
Yep. Rolling right into the October timeframe. Yeah, because it's a late October show. So perfect.
Yeah.
And last piece of news, so I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
I'll produce that and stay out of your hair. You just tell me what you need, and you get all the people there. I'll be focusing on my film, but I'll be there along the way. But 2021, one of the things we've learned over the years is that as we're writing new material, it's always really nice to potentially workshop some of that material before it goes up on live.
Right.
And some of the things we're talking about now with Nights Out, where we got some feedback that there were some people that came to see it, wants us to tweak some of the dialogue and submit it to some workshop plays in New York City to see how well it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep
Fingers
people posted,
crossed,
keep it-
yeah.
right? I think we would have liked to have a little bit more time to workshop some of the things. As we're doing the show, we said, oh, it'd be nice to change this and change that. So what we're doing, since it's just early 2020 right now, and spring 21 is a long time away, we're going to start workshopping some of the writing of the themes that we're going to be doing for 2021. And the theme for spring of 2021 is going to be emergency room visits. So it's all going to be placed in an ER, in a waiting room, ER area, and people are going to start, I'm going to go to our writing core, going out to a bunch of people who are interested in writing and submitting some scripts, and I'm giving them their theme, and they can create whatever they want. I'll work with them and workshop them, and we may do some things in the early fall, workshopping and just either at WACA here or at the VFW, wherever we can get space, and just run lines and see how it works and workshop it and get it ready so that when we're ready to do the show in in 2021 in the spring, we'll have workshopped it all the way through, as opposed to just writing it very quickly, getting it out there. Because I think if we would do it differently, maybe we would have wanted a little bit more time with Nights Out. I still think it came out really great.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I think we could have a little bit more time. So that's what we're doing. I mean,
I can't
we
wait.
never stop moving around here. And a lot of stuff going on. So if anyone's interested in being part of any of that, whether it's being part of the stage crew of the viewing room, or coming out to auditions for Dracula, or being part of the tech team in Dracula, or being a writer, or coming up with concepts, or being part of the workshops for the 2021 show, feel free to reach out to us at ashlandcommunitytheater@gmail.com. And just let us know what your interest is. We welcome everybody.
Yeah.
And I think we're a very welcoming group of people.
Love new people.
And we love people who have energy, wants to come in, or just want to see what's going on, or come on down and help out in any way. Feel free to do so. Well, 2019 is in the books.
Crazy.
A lot of great stuff we did. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I mean, you did so much. A fundraiser, 2 plays, a film, co-hosting at times, and now you're on to directing a couple of shows, and et cetera. So I look forward to working with you again in 2020 and beyond. And thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy. See you next time.